No one on Earth expected that day to change history. It began quiet, slow, almost boring. Morning clouds moved over the Pacific Ocean, and people lived their normal lives. But deep below the sea floor, something old was waiting. Something older than every city, every country, every dream of mankind. It slept under rock, sand, and forgotten time. And on that day, it finally heard a call. Dr. Lena Ward was the first person to notice the strange signal. She sat inside a research center in New Zealand, studying Earth's magnetic field. Her screen showed smooth blue lines, calm and normal. Then, without warning, a sharp pulse appeared. Fast, bright, and powerful. The computer shook, lights flickered, and the signal disappeared as suddenly as it came. Lena stared at the screen, confused. It was not from a satellite. Not from the sun. Not from anything she knew. She ran the data again. The pulse came from somewhere under the Pacific Ocean. Deep, deeper than any submarine, deeper than any drill. It did not look natural. It repeated every 62 seconds, like a heartbeat. Lena called her team, but they laughed at first. They thought it was equipment failure. But then the pulse grew louder. It spread across the entire planet, touching every sensor, every radio, every antenna. Soon, governments noticed it too. Military bases reported strange readings. Pilots lost radio contact. Animals along the Pacific coast began running inland, birds screaming into the sky. Something ancient was waking up, and the world could feel it, even if no one understood. Far above Earth, in silent space, an Empire fleet waited. Thousands of metal warships floated in a perfect formation. They had been watching Earth for months. To them, Earth was weak, young, and unimportant. A small blue planet without real power. The Empire planned to attack soon. Take resources, take land, take control. They never feared Earth. Why would they? Earth had no fleet, no advanced weapons, no history among the stars. But when the signal reached space, every Empire ship stopped moving. Their sensors went blind. Their systems froze. Something from Earth had touched them, something they could not identify. The fleet commander ordered scans, but nothing worked. He did not know the truth. The signal was not a message. It was a warning. Back on Earth, storms formed suddenly above the Pacific. Waves rose higher than buildings. Ships disappeared without sending distress calls. The ocean surface began to glow with a faint white light, spreading in circles like ripples in a pond. Satellite images showed a shape under the water, huge, metallic, and rising. Lena watched the live footage with wide eyes. The object was bigger than a mountain. It did not look like a submarine, or a ship, or anything human hands could build. It was covered in glowing patterns, lines, symbols, and shapes no one had ever seen. It looked alive, but it was not breathing. It was remembering. The world panicked. News channels showed the glowing ocean non-stop. People left coastal cities. Governments prepared for disaster. Some believed a natural fault was opening under the ocean. Others believed it was an alien attack. But Lena felt something different. She felt the signal was calling to humanity, asking to be heard. Then it happened. The entire Pacific Ocean pulled downward, as if the water itself was being swallowed. A roar louder than thunder shook the sky. Tsunamis formed, but they did not move toward land. They moved away, fleeing from the center point. And from the darkness below, the giant began to rise. At first, only a silver edge appeared. Then towers, wings, and impossible structures followed. The water rolled off its surface like rain on stone. The object was not a ship, not a base, not a city. It was a weapon, built for war, built for protection, built for a time long forgotten. The war machine reached the surface, and the storm suddenly stopped. Winds died. Clouds cleared. The ocean became perfectly still, like glass. The machine floated without sinking, without noise, without effort. Its glowing lines pulsed slowly, like a giant heart learning to beat again. For a moment, Earth went silent. No birds, no waves, no wind. Only the sound of a machine older than human memory. Lena whispered, though no one could hear her. It woke up, but why? Across space, The Empire fleet detected the machine. Their screens filled with warnings. Their captains argued in fear. Earth was supposed to be helpless. Earth was supposed to be easy. But this machine, this thing, was stronger than anything they had ever seen. The commander gave the order to retreat, but it was already too late. The war machine turned slightly, like a waking giant noticing an enemy. Its glowing patterns aligned into a single burning symbol. And the signal pulsed again, louder, sharper, unstoppable. Humanity did not understand the signal, but the Empire did. It meant, do not touch Earth, because the planet was not alone. It never had been. Something ancient had been waiting beneath the ocean, waiting for the day someone threatened home. And now, it was awake. The world could not stop staring at the ocean. The giant metal shape still floated on the Pacific surface, silent and unmoving, like a forgotten titan returning from another age. People across the planet held their breath, waiting for it to speak or act or disappear. But the war machine did nothing. It only watched. Dr. Lena Ward barely slept. She stood inside the research center, replaying the magnetic pulse again and again. Every time the signal repeated, she felt it. Not fear, responsibility. Something under the ocean had changed Earth forever, and she knew the world was not ready. Governments fought for answers. Military leaders demanded plans. Scientists argued over theories. Some wanted to destroy the machine. Others wanted to communicate. But no one understood what it was. News channels called it the Ocean Titan. Social media named it Earth's Guardian. Religious leaders called it a sign. Children drew pictures of it in school. Still, no one knew the truth. And while Earth panicked, something else watched from the dark sky. Far above the blue planet, the Empire fleet returned to life. Systems restarted. Weapons recharged. Engines glowed again. The freezing moment of confusion passed, replaced by anger and fear. The fleet commander, Admiral Saren, stared at the planet with narrowed eyes. He had destroyed worlds before. He had crushed rebellions, erased civilizations, ended star nations. He was known across systems as the final word. Nothing ever resisted him. But Earth had just done it, without firing a single weapon. Run the scans again, Saren ordered. His officers obeyed, but the results were the same. The object in the ocean was not human. Its energy levels were impossible. Its structure broke every scientific rule they knew. It cannot be native, one officer whispered. No primitive world builds that. Saren agreed. Earth was young, isolated, and technologically behind. So who built the machine? And why place it here? The Empire wanted Earth's resources. Its water, minerals, and land. Earth was supposed to surrender instantly, like countless planets before it. But now, the Empire felt something new, doubt. Saren refused to show it. He sent a message toward Earth, short, cold, and confident. Prepare for occupation. Back on Earth, world leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Satellite images revealed thousands of alien ships in orbit. Large ones, small ones, carriers, destroyers, enough to burn the planet in minutes. Fear spread faster than news. Families packed escape bags. Cities rushed to build shelters. Military jets scrambled into the sky, useless against starships they had never imagined. Earth did not feel like home anymore. It felt like prey. Lena watched the broadcast of the Empire message. The voice was calm, almost bored, like speaking to a child. She could feel her heart pounding. Earth had never been in a war like this. Human weapons, human armies, human plans. None of them mattered. The war machine still waited in silence. Some people begged the military to attack it. Others prayed for it to save them. But the machine gave no sign, no signal, no movement. It was like a sleeping guard, standing but not seeing. Lena believed otherwise. She noticed something new in the magnetic readings. The machine was not focused on Earth. It was focused upward, toward the fleet, like a predator watching another predator. Meanwhile, inside the Empire flagship, officers prepared the first step, intimidation. They would show power, not use it. They believed humans would surrender quickly once they understood the size of the threat. Saren activated the planetary broadcast again. You have 10 hours to comply. Earth heard it. Every home, every phone, every screen. People screamed, cried, argued, prayed. But Lena did something different. She listened. The message was confident, too confident. The Empire did not know about the machine's purpose. They believed Earth was still defenseless. That mistake could change everything. Hours passed. The fleet moved closer, forming a massive shadow across the sky. Their engines lit the night, turning clouds orange and gold. People could see them with their own eyes. Thousands of silent lights, staring down like judgment. Earth was no longer alone. And then, for the first time since Rising, the war machine responded. Not with movement, not with weapons. With sound. A deep, low hum rolled across the ocean. Waves formed long rings around the machine. The glowing lines on its surface brightened, shifting from white to gold. Cities on the coast felt the vibration through their streets and buildings. Lena watched from the research center, her breath held tight in her chest. It hears them, she whispered. Satellite cameras caught something terrifying. The machine slowly turned toward space. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just aware. The Empire fleet scanned again, and their results changed immediately. Energy levels rising. Power output increasing. Weapons charging, beyond measurable scale. For the first time, Admiral Saren felt fear. He ordered the fleet to prepare for fire. Earth held its breath again. Some screamed at the machine to defend them. Others begged it not to start a war. But the machine did not choose violence. Instead, it sent a single signal. Clean, sharp, and universal. Every human radio, every speaker, every screen carried the same message. Stand down. Not to Earth. To the Empire. To everyone watching. The voice was calm, deep, ancient. Lena felt her skin go cold. The message was not a warning. It was a promise. Humanity was not weak. Earth was not helpless. And whatever built that machine had returned. The Empire now had a choice. Leave, or be erased. And the world waited to see which path they would choose. The signal echoed across the planet like a heartbeat. Stand down. 2 calm words, yet powerful enough to freeze the world. People stopped talking. Screens stopped moving. Even the ocean seemed to stop breathing. For the first time in human history, Earth was not speaking for itself. Something else was speaking for it. Dr. Lena Ward replayed the message again and again. The voice did not sound robotic or emotional. It sounded ancient, like it had spoken to stars long before humans ever learned language. Her hands shook. "What are you?" she whispered to the empty room. Outside, helicopters circled the glowing war machine, keeping distance. Military ships formed a ring around it, unsure if they were guarding it, or being guarded by it. No one dared fire. No one dared approach. The machine still floated on the Pacific surface, silent and still. But now its golden lines pulsed like blood moving through veins. It looked alive, and it was watching the sky. Up in orbit, the Empire fleet received the message too. Command centers filled with panic. Officers shouted orders, checked readings, and scanned for translators. But every language system returned the same translation. Stand down. To Admiral Saren, those words felt like an insult. He clenched his jaw and stared at Earth, angry and confused. How does this planet have such a weapon? He demanded. No one answered. Not because they didn't know, but because they were afraid. Saren ordered the fleet to aim its weapons. Not fire, just aim, show strength, show dominance. That was how the Empire always controlled planets. But something strange happened. Every ship aiming toward the machine lost targeting systems. Guns turned away on their own. Guidance software shut off. Engines stalled for 3 seconds. Only 3. But it was enough to terrify the fleet. It was not an attack. It was control. The machine did not just see them. It understood them. Back on Earth, world leaders argued through video calls. Some wanted peace talks with the Empire. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to beg. But Lena interrupted them. You're all missing the point, she said, voice shaking but clear. "We are not alone. And whatever built that machine trusted us to inherit it." Silence filled the meeting. No one wanted to believe it. No one wanted responsibility that large. Lena continued, "It did not destroy the fleet. It only warned them. It is protecting Earth, not ruling it." She didn't know if she was right, but she felt it. Meanwhile, coastal citizens gathered along cliffs and beaches, watching the glowing machine with wide eyes. Some cried, some prayed, some cheered. It became a symbol, hope wrapped in metal and mystery. Children asked their parents, "Is that our guardian?" No one knew how to answer. As night fell, clouds gathered above the Pacific. Lightning flashed across the sky. Not natural lightning. It struck downward, but always stopped just before touching the machine, as if recognizing something familiar. The war machine responded by releasing a soft sound. Not a warning siren, not a roar. A hum, gentle and deep, like comfort. The ocean around it warmed. Storms weakened. Winds softened. It was calming the planet. Lena watched from the observation deck. Something inside her changed. For the first time since seeing the signal, she felt safe. But high in orbit, Admiral Saren reached a dangerous decision. "This planet belongs to the Empire," he said. "No ancient relic will change that." He ordered the Second Fleet, hidden behind Earth's moon, to move forward. This fleet was larger, stronger, built for planetary sieges. Millions of armored drones activated. Their engines glowed red. Their weapons charged. Earth had only hours left. Back on the surface, the machine reacted instantly. Its golden lines turned deep blue. The ocean around it began to spin slowly. Water lifted into the air, not splashing, not flooding, floating, like gravity forgot its job. Everyone watching stepped back, terrified and amazed. Then something unbelievable happened. A doorway formed on the machine's surface. A perfect circle of light. Not an entrance. An invitation. Lena felt her heart stop. "It wants someone," she whispered. Military leaders demanded she stay away. Journalists begged for information. Citizens around the world watched, breathless. But Lena already knew. Deep inside her mind, she felt a pull. Not a voice, not a command. A connection. She walked toward the helicopter. Her colleagues tried to stop her, but she shook her head. "It called me." Minutes later, she reached the machine by boat. Water around it was warm and smooth, like liquid glass. The glowing doorway widened as she approached, recognizing her presence. Lena placed her hand on the metal surface, and everything changed. She saw flashes, stars exploding, galaxies forming, cities floating in space, humans in armor standing beside machines like gods. Humanity was not born small. It was born powerful. The machine was not alien. It was human history, forgotten and buried. It had been waiting for humans to rise again, waiting for someone to understand. When Lena pulled her hand back, she was trembling. She finally knew the truth. Earth did not discover the machine. Earth created it, long before recorded history. The machine did not choose the Empire, chose humanity. Lena looked up at the sky, where the Second Fleet approached. The decision was clear now. War was coming, but Earth would not face it alone. The giant beneath the ocean had awakened, and it remembered its purpose. Protect home. The world had only minutes left. High above Earth, the Second Empire fleet moved out from behind the moon. A shining wall of metal stretching across space. Thousands of warships. Millions of drones. Weapons bright and ready. They expected the planet to tremble. They expected humans to fall on their knees. But Earth did not bow. Earth watched. Down on the Pacific, the giant war machine continued to float, calm and silent, as if it had been preparing for this moment since time began. Dr. Lena Ward stood at its base, still shaking from the visions it showed her. Her heart felt heavy, but her mind felt clear. Humanity had a past it never remembered, past that now demanded strength. Lena looked up at the glowing doorway on the machine. "Do you want me inside?" she whispered. The doorway widened in response, sunlight reflecting off its silver walls. She stepped forward. Inside, the machine was not cold or empty. It felt warm, alive, like stepping into the heart of a planet. The floor moved beneath her feet, carrying her deeper without sound. Golden symbols floated in the air, shifting like gentle waves. They formed a map of the galaxy. Many stars were dark, crossed out, but Earth's star burned bright. Then Lena heard it, not with her ears, but inside her mind. You were not meant to hide. Her breath caught. It was the same ancient voice that warned the Empire. Why me? She whispered. Silence followed, long and heavy. Then, you listened. Lena didn't understand everything, but she didn't need to. The machine had chosen her, not as a pilot, not as a soldier, but as a witness. The world needed someone to tell the truth. Outside, alarms rang across Earth. Military command centers screamed for updates. Civilians ran toward shelters. News hosts began speaking in shaking voices. The Second Fleet was now visible in the night sky, a streak of red and silver, like a burning storm. Admiral Saren stood inside his flagship, staring at Earth with cold fury. This ends now, he said. He raised his hand, and every ship in the fleet prepared to fire. Inside the machine, Lena felt a deep vibration, steady, confident. It was ready long before the Empire arrived. Saren gave the order. Thousands of energy beams shot toward Earth. Bright, loud, unstoppable. Every screen, every camera, every eye on Earth saw it happening. People screamed. Some prayed. Some closed their eyes, unable to watch the end. But the end did not come. The ocean rose. Water lifted like a shining shield around the machine, forming a perfect sphere. Smooth, solid, glowing blue. The Empire's attack hit the water shield and vanished. Not absorbed. Not reflected. Simply gone. The fleet paused, shocked. Saren growled, "Fire again!" This time, missiles, plasma cannons, railguns, every weapon launched at once. Space lit up like a fall sunrise. Earth watched, terrified. The glowing shield thickened. The weapons hit, and again, disappeared without a sound, without an explosion. It was impossible. But the machine did not believe in impossible. It believed in survival. Inside, Lena felt the machine's focus sharpen. It was not angry. It was not afraid. It was patient. The world slowly realized. This was no ordinary defense. It was a warning. Do not harm Earth. Admiral Saren felt humiliation burning in his chest. No one had ever ignored his power before. No world had dared resist. He wanted destruction, not surrender. Send the drones, he ordered. Millions of small metal machines swarmed toward Earth. Fast, aggressive, ruthless. They screamed through space like a storm of knives. This time, the machine moved. The symbol on its surface shifted from blue to deep red. The ocean around it spun, forming a massive whirlpool without sinking. Energy gathered beneath the surface. Quiet, controlled, perfect. Then, a single pulse shot out of the machine. Silent, invisible, instant. In space, every drone froze mid-flight. Engines died. Weapons shut down. Lights faded. One by one they fell, burning like falling stars across the night sky. Children pointed at the sky in awe. Adults stared in disbelief. Humanity witnessed something it never imagined. Earth fighting back. Saren slammed his fist against the command table. Retreat? Never, he shouted. He prepared to charge himself, to fly his flagship straight into the machine. But before he could move, his ship lost control. The engines powered off. Gravity shifted. Every Empire ship, thousands of them, turned away from Earth as if guided by invisible hands. They were not fleeing. They were being dismissed. Saren shouted, "Who is controlling this?" Deep inside the machine, Lena heard the voice again. Calm, unshaken, final. Leave our home. The Empire fleet was pushed backward, drifting away from orbit. Farther and farther, until they were only tiny lights in the sky. Earth exhaled. Cities cheered. People hugged strangers. Tears filled faces around the world. The planet had survived the first strike, without firing a single human weapon. But Lena did not celebrate. She looked at the star map again. So many dark stars. So many destroyed civilizations. The Empire was not the only threat. It was only the beginning. The machine spoke once more. This time, not to warn, but to prepare. They will return. And Earth would need more than protection next time. It would need strength, unity, memory. Because humanity's forgotten past was coming back. And the galaxy was watching. The world celebrated, but the ocean remained quiet. Fireworks exploded over cities. People danced in streets. News anchors shouted with excitement. Children pointed at the sky, smiling. Earth had survived the Empire. But Dr. Lena Ward did not feel victory. She stood inside the war machine, surrounded by shifting golden light. And she felt something heavier, responsibility. The machine had shown mercy. It forced the fleet back, but it did not destroy them. Why? The galaxy did not fear Earth yet. But the machine did not want fear. It wanted memory. Lena reached out, touching one of the floating symbols. It stretched, unfolded, and turned into a doorway of light. Without thinking, she stepped through. Suddenly, Lena was no longer inside metal walls. She stood in a vast, open space filled with stars. A projection, perfect and endless. Planets rotated slowly around glowing suns. Nebulas shined like colored storms. Far away, galaxies drifted like islands of light. Lena felt tiny but not powerless. The machine was showing her something important. Then the stars changed. Some dimmed. Some vanished. Entire constellations went dark, like candles being blown out. A deep voice spoke inside her mind. This is what was lost. Lena turned, but she saw no one. Only light, movement, history. The stars brightened again. This time, she saw giant cities floating in space. Bridges between planets, living metal towers, people walking in open vacuum like it was normal. And then Lena froze. The people were human. Not aliens. Not strangers. Humans. Just like her. They stood tall, confident, wearing armor shaped like starlight. They commanded machines with a single thought. They traveled between galaxies like walking across a street. Earth was not the beginning of humanity. It was the return. Lena whispered, We were out there? The machine answered, You ruled the stars. Lena's knees weakened. Humanity once had a civilization greater than anything modern Earth dreamed of. And no one remembered. How did we lose all this? She asked, voice trembling. The projection shifted again. This time, Lena saw fire. Worlds burning, fleets destroyed, suns collapsing into darkness. An enemy rose from the outer galaxy. Not the Empire. Something stronger. Something patient. Something afraid of humanity's potential. The ancient humans fought, but even they could not win forever. War broke the galaxy. Hope faded. Then Lena saw Earth. Not blue and peaceful, but fortified, glowing with powerful shields. Billions returned home, preparing for the final battle. They brought their knowledge, technology, and machines with them. And among those machines, Lena saw it. The same one floating in the Pacific now. The war machine. It was the last guardian. Built not to destroy, but to remember. The projection continued. The ancient humans made a heartbreaking choice. To protect Earth, they erased their own history. Removed the memories from themselves. Destroyed records. Removed maps. Abandoned the stars. Humanity returned to a simple life. Safe. Unnoticed. Hidden. The machine spoke. You chose peace, not victory. Lena felt tears in her eyes. Her ancestors had sacrificed everything. Knowledge, power, identity. Just to give future generations a chance to live without war. But the threat never died. The unknown enemy disappeared. And in their absence, the Empire rose. Not knowing humanity's true past. not knowing the sleeping giant beneath the ocean. And now they had found Earth. Lena whispered. So that's why you woke up. The machine answered. The cycle begins again. Outside, the ocean rippled softly. Wind brushed across the water like a warning. Lena looked back at the projection. The last scene nearly broke her. Ancient humans stood inside a great hall, touching the surface of the machine. Their faces looked calm, sad, determined. They recorded one final message. When the darkness returns, rise. Then the projection ended. Lena stood alone in silence, breathing slowly. Earth never evolved into greatness. Earth returned to it. But no one knew. No one believed. Humanity walked blind, thinking it was weak, small, fragile. Now the truth was awake. Lena felt the machine shift beneath her feet, preparing something new. It opened another doorway, this one glowing white. She stepped through and found herself inside a control chamber. The wall showed live images of Earth. Cities, mountains, oceans, faces of ordinary people. The machine was watching humanity, not spying, protecting. It spoke again, softer this time. You are not alone. Lena placed her hand on a glowing panel. The machine responded instantly, wrapping her in gentle light. It had chosen her, not as a pilot, not as a weapon, as a bridge between past and present. She realized what the machine wanted. Humanity must remember. Humanity must rise again. Not to conquer, but to survive. Suddenly, alarms echoed through the chamber. The floor vibrated. The golden lights darkened. Lena gasped. What's happening? The machine answered with only 2 words. They return. The Empire was not gone. They were regrouping, rebuilding, calling reinforcements, bringing something far bigger, maybe even the ancient enemy. The celebration on Earth had ended too soon. Lena looked toward the sky, heart pounding. The war machine had protected Earth once, but next time protection would not be enough. Humanity would have to decide, stay small or become what it once was. The future of the planet was no longer a secret. It was a choice. The sky changed before anyone spoke about it. People saw it during sunrise, stars fading slower than normal, as if something was blocking them. Birds stopped in mid-flight, confused. Dogs barked at nothing. The world felt heavy, like the air was waiting. Dr. Lena Ward stood on a rooftop in New York, staring upward. She did not need a telescope. Anyone could see it now. The Empire had returned. Their first fleet was nothing compared to this. Millions of dark shapes covered the night sky like spilled ink. They formed a wall across space, silent, organized, perfect. It was not an invasion. It was a final judgment. News channels stopped reporting numbers. There were too many ships to count. Children cried. Some prayed. Some just stared, knowing something huge was coming. But the war machine beneath the ocean did not move. Governments begged it to rise. Military leaders yelled into microphones. Some even threatened to use nuclear weapons. Still, silence. It stayed under the waves, glowing like a calm heartbeat. It watched. It waited. The Empire believed Earth was defenseless. Earth believed it was doomed. Only Lena understood something different. She whispered to herself, "It is not afraid. It wants us to choose." Far above Earth, on the lead ship, the Empire commander watched the planet. His voice was slow and confident, like someone who had already won. "Earth will surrender," he said. "No machine can protect a species that refuses to fight." His officers bowed. They believed him. They believed humans were soft, emotional, weak. They were wrong. On Earth, leaders from every country met through emergency signals. There was shouting, panic, blame, fear. One voice finally cut through the noise. It was Lena's. She did not shout. She simply asked, "What do we stand for?" The room went silent. For centuries, humans fought each other. Borders, power, land. But in this moment, none of that mattered. There was only one decision left. Hide, or stand united. For the first time in history, every nation agreed. "We choose Earth," they said. The message was sent into space. The Empire laughed. The Empire began charging its weapons. Blue light gathered across the fleet like storm clouds before lightning. One blast could destroy a city. 1,000 could destroy the world. People ran to shelters. Parents hugged their children. Priests opened churches. Hospitals turned off alarms. They knew alarms would not save anyone. Lena stayed outside, watching the ocean. Wind pushed her hair across her face. The water trembled, not from fear, but from power. It is listening, she thought. The ocean split. Slow, controlled. Steam rose like breath in winter. And from the deep, the ancient war machine finally rose. Not fast. Not angry. Just certain. Massive metal pillars broke through waves. Cities shook. The sky turned white for a moment. People did not scream, they stared. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time, like a god waking up. The symbols across its surface glowed gold now, not blue. They pulsed like a heartbeat. Earth's heartbeat. The Empire commander leaned forward, confused. Why did it wait? He asked. No one answered. He gave the final order. Fire. Millions of beams shot toward Earth. Bright, silent, deadly. The sky became a burning river. The ground lit up like daytime. But before the beams reached the surface, they disappeared. Not blocked. Not destroyed. Just gone. Erased from existence. The war machine had not moved. It had simply decided the attack did not matter. Fear finally reached the Empire fleet. Then, for the first time, the war machine spoke. Not with sound, but with a calm voice inside every human mind. You have chosen to stand. We stand with you. Lena fell to her knees. Tears filled her eyes. Not sadness, not fear. Recognition. The machine was not a weapon. It was a promise. One made long before history began. The Empire fired again. Panic now, not confidence. Their weapons bent, twisted, and turned back toward them. Explosions rippled across the fleet like falling dominoes. Ships tried to retreat. Some ran into each other. Some vanished without a trace. Earth did not fire a single shot. The machine never attacked. It only defended. Within minutes, most of the Empire fleet was gone. Burning, shattered, silent. But one command ship remained. The commander stared at Earth, shocked. This planet was supposed to be weak, he whispered. Lena answered, even though she was on Earth. Her voice traveled through the war machine. No. Earth was patient. The Empire commander now faced a choice. Fight or surrender. He lowered his weapon. Not because he feared the machine, but because he finally understood humans were not alone or helpless. They were protected because they deserved to be. The war machine slowly sank back into the ocean, peaceful again. The waves closed above it. Birds began singing like nothing happened. Earth took a breath. But everyone knew this was not the end. It was the beginning of something bigger. Something forgotten. Lena looked at the horizon and whispered, the galaxy will come. And this time, we will be ready. The world was quiet after the battle. No smoke. No broken cities. Only calm waves and a clear blue sky. People stepped outside slowly, like waking from a long nightmare. They looked up, waiting for another fleet, another threat, another ending. Nothing came. For the first time in human history, Earth felt safe. Dr. Lena Ward stood on a cliff near the ocean. Cold wind touched her face, but she did not move. She kept watching the horizon, searching for the war machine. It was gone again, back under the waves, silent and invisible. But she did not feel afraid. She felt guided. Because now humanity knew the truth. Earth was never weak. It was protected. Emergency meetings started across the world, but they were different now. No shouting. No blaming. No borders. No flags. Leaders from every country sat at one table, like one family. They spoke softly, thinking before responding. They were careful with their words, like everything mattered. Because it did. For the first time, Earth had a shared future. Lena joined the meeting, and every leader stood when she entered. They did not see her as a scientist anymore. They saw her as the voice of Earth, the one who understood the machine. She sat down slowly, feeling every eye on her. Humanity has a choice now, Lena said. We can fear the galaxy, or we can return to it. Silence followed. A hopeful silence. Far beneath the ocean floor, the ancient war machine waited. Its lights glowed dim and warm, like a campfire in the dark. It was not sleeping. It was listening. It felt the thoughts of every human. Fear, wonder, excitement, confusion, and something else. Courage. It remembered that feeling. It had waited thousands of years to feel it again. In cities, people rebuilt. Not buildings, but trust. Neighbors spoke to each other again. Strangers helped strangers. Nations shared food, water, power, medicine. Children played outside without looking at the sky. They no longer feared what was above them. Artists painted the war machine rising from the sea. Writers told stories about unity. Teachers reminded students that humanity survived not because of strength, but because of choice. Earth was changing, fast, but peacefully. One evening, as the sun fell, a low hum moved through the planet. Lights flickered, but not from danger. The war machine was calling. Lena felt it first. Her heart beat faster, not from fear, but recognition. She rushed to the coast, and thousands followed her. Families, soldiers, leaders, scientists. Nobody told them to come. They just knew. Waves opened again, calm and gentle, as the war machine rose from the deep for the last time. Its surface shined with gold symbols, brighter than before. Not a weapon now, more like a lighthouse. A giant portal formed above it, spinning like a ring of stardust. Inside the portal were endless stars, blue, green, red, purple, worlds waiting. People stared in silence. They finally understood. This machine was never built to win battles. It was built to return humanity home. The portal stayed open, but the machine did not move. It waited. Lena stepped forward, placing her hand gently on its surface. It was warm, alive. A calm voice filled every mind on Earth. You are ready. People cried, not from sadness but pride. They felt part of something greater than fear, greater than survival. The machine continued. The stars belonged to you once. They can again, if you choose peace. The words echoed through oceans, forests, deserts, cities. Humanity stood together, not because of war, but because of hope. A single ship rose from the war machine, a smooth silver vessel shaped like light. It hovered above the water, waiting for its first crew. Lena looked back at Earth. Families, children, and elders stood behind her, watching with shining eyes. She smiled, not a happy smile, but a full one. A smile that carried history. Earth will not hide anymore, she said. People cheered, soft at first, then louder, like thunder rolling across mountains. Leaders stepped forward, placing their hands on their hearts. Humanity had chosen. Before boarding, Lena spoke one last time. We are not leaving Earth behind. We are carrying it with us. Every world we touch will know who we are. Her voice was steady, strong, human. The ship's door opened, glowing bright. Lena walked inside, first explorer of a new age. Not a soldier, not a conqueror, a witness of Earth. The ship rose higher, entering the Stargate. People held their breath. Then, light swallowed it. The crowd stood frozen, silent, until the portal slowly faded, leaving only stars. Beautiful, endless, inviting stars. Earth felt different now, bigger, lighter, confident. Humanity did not wait for danger anymore. It moved forward. Somewhere beyond the darkness, new worlds waited. Old friends, old enemies, forgotten civilizations, scattered like dust across time. But nobody feared them, because Earth finally remembered who it was. Not a target, not a quiet planet, a beginning.